as a Steeler fan, I'm praying for Shador Sanders' downfall. I really hope we can get him at 21. But if we got to trade up at 8 to go get him, I got no issue with that. I don't care what any other detractors say about Shador Sanders. He's instantly better than anybody the Steelers have at the quarterback position right now. And I'd rather have him than old man Aaron Rodgers. I feel he'll connect better with the teammates. And I feel with the connection that he had with his father, Deion Sanders, him with Mike Tomlin, he kind of already alluded to Mike Tomlin being a little bit similar to Deion in terms of coaching style. But listen, if the Steelers can't get their hands on Shador Sanders, I think that Jalen Milroe would be a great pickup for the Steelers. Let me rephrase that. If the Steelers draft Jalen Milroe, it's a match made in heaven. Everything that Jalen Milroe does well, the Steelers are perfectly equipped to utilize in the best way. When he was at his best at Alabama last year, when he had that great game against Georgia, he was throwing the football downfield with the vertical pass game. You got two of the best deep threats in the league. You got George Pickens. You just throw the shit up, he's going to come down with it. You got DK Metcalf, one of the most physically and the most freakishly athletic receivers to ever enter the league. It's not too damn hard to get those brothers the football. Just throw it the freak up. But also, you got a quarterback that becomes a tank running the football. Look, nobody wants to tackle Jalen Milroe in the open field, especially once you get to the fourth quarter. The dude is built like Mike Oslott playing the quarterback position. He's like Derrick Henry at quarterback, but just a tad bit smaller. You're going to get tired of tackling that shit throughout the course of a 60-minute game. And the Steelers want to be a run-first team. Arthur Smith is not this novice offensive coordinator that he's made out to be. He had some moments last year when it's like, what the hell is up with all these doggone toss plays? But the Steelers went from being one of the worst offenses in the league to a top half offense in 1 year under Arthur Smith. He didn't really get along with Russell Wilson. Russ held the ball too long. He tried to run around, and he just didn't have the athleticism. Jalen Milroe can run around, extend plays. And I don't view him as Anthony Richardson. I view him more as Justin Fields. Anthony Richardson had no business coming out of Florida as early as what he did. I thought that him going to Shane Steichen would have been able to get the most out of him, but like we saw with the Trey Lance situation, even if you do go to a good coach, some guys just aren't cut out to be a quarterback at the next level. Jalen Milroe has more experience and more production than what Anthony Richardson had. His problem is that when he's off, he's really off. But he has shown the ability where he occasionally can go through his progressions, just not as consistently enough. He can work the quick game, but not as consistently enough as what you would expect. But he's a hard worker. He's not somebody that I see tapping out in the middle of a play. You know, like Jalen Milroe to Pittsburgh, although I don't like the idea of reaching for him 21st, there's no guarantee that he's going to be there if the Steelers want to trade back up to later part of the first round, or if they plan on drafting him early in the second round, that he's going to be there. The potential is there, and if you have the right system around him, he can win. We've seen quarterbacks in the past be able to lead teams to success with just their athleticism, like Lamar in 2018. The NFL allowing the Steelers to get Jalen Milroe, I think it's one of the worst things that anybody could allow to happen.
You hit it on the head, JT. There's not a more perfect quarterback fit in this draft than Jalen Milroe to Pittsburgh. I mean, as happy as you would be to have Shador Sanders, he's not a scheme fit. Jalen Milroe fits exactly what Arthur Smith wants to do. He wants to run the football, but not only that, he wants to run play action. He wants a quarterback that when they boot off that play action, they're a threat to run, making those linebackers and edges have to stop in their tracks because you don't know if it's a naked bootleg and that man Jalen Milroe is taking off and trying to run a 60-yard touchdown. You talked about Jalen Milroe built like a tank. Did you see his 40? I mean, again, we had a great conversation pre-show. Brother, I would pay money to watch Lamar Jackson and Jalen
Versus
Milroe run
Milroe
40
race.
side by side. I would pay money because I bet you the numbers are going to be very, very similar. Like, this is a true athlete. This is the best athlete at the quarterback position in this draft, without a shadow of a doubt.
And the Steelers have one with guys with this skill set in the past, like Cordell/Stewart.
Like, Jalen Milroe would complete the transition that you guys were looking for. You guys were looking to get bigger, stronger, faster, more tough. That would complete that for you guys.
And Mike
You would
Tomlin
have
says
your
he wants a
quarterback of the
quarterback
future.
mobility. He wants quarterback
Exactly.
mobility. Now,
Exactly.
now I
You would
don't
have
like
that.
the idea of him starting week 1. But
No.
if the Steelers do have to throw him out there week 1, I don't feel you're going to get Anthony Richardson kind of results. He's more durable, and you can, like you said, you can build an offense around that running ability. You already have a run first approach anyway, and with how big he is, you give him like 12 to 15 touches throughout the game, he's going to wear down the defense. Plus, with whoever they pick up at running back, they are going to draft the running back. You already got the weapons at the receiver position. The offensive line should be improved. What doesn't get talked about is how the Steelers have invested a lot of draft capital these last couple of years into the offensive line. Some of those have worked out. You had some injuries to the left tackle from Washington, but I think that the more I think of the fit, the more I'm on board. If the Steelers can't get Shedeur Sanders, hey, I got no problem with taking Jalen Milroe. Even though I wouldn't want him being drafted in the first round, with how this draft class is viewed, not really a lot of top end talent. You're kind of just rolling the dice on anybody once you get past the first 10 picks. Once you get the 21st, it's slim picking. So the chances of Shedeur becoming successful, it's the same chances that you have of anybody else becoming successful, regardless of position at that point. So, me personally, I'm not against getting Shedeur. Well, I'm not against getting Jalen Milroe. I'd rather have Shedeur. Keep saying his name because that's who I want. But, I really would love to see Jalen Milroe in Pittsburgh. Like you said, I don't think there's a better quarterback fit than him going to Pittsburgh. Jalen Milroe, Mike Tomlin, I think that would work out pretty good.